welcome to our podcast from the Just Add Water campaign. We want to uncover the work that actually lies behind one of the most essential services that each of us needs daily, and that is water. So this is my colleague Pier Antonio Lavena, and I'm Anna Barthofer. We work for IAWD, and today we're hosting this podcast together with our guest.
Yes, today we're traveling to Prilep in North Macedonia, and we'll be speaking with someone who knows a lot about how water gets to our tap, and also if some of it gets lost along the way.
With us is Danche Josheska. She's the Deputy Head of Technical Affairs and Development. But we will head over the microphone to Danche to introduce herself, because she has well over 15 years of experience in working in the water sector. And she has probably seen most of the major investments and projects happening at her water utility in Prilep.
Hello, everyone. As Anna mentioned, my name is Danche Josheska, and I work in the water sector for over 18 years almost, so it's more than 15. I am IT engineer, so my part is kind of in the middle between the technical and financial sectors, because all the investments, the tariffs, all the planning is in my department. So, and I'm working this for over 15 years, so it's kind of everyday job for me now.
So how did you get into the sector 18 years ago? What told you I want to work for my water utility?
Well, I was a crash IT engineer, just finished I just got my degree, and there was one project in the utility in Prilep. It was from Kiev W, and they needed IT engineers, because at the time we didn't have any program to make the billing system and make the lawsuits, and that's how I get into the utility as the IT. But after that, I was in contact with a lot of the consultants that came with the KfW, and I probably started to get the bigger picture and got more and more interest in the water sector, and I kind of started to like the job and cherish, because it's water safety, and it's drinking water is the first thing you need to be for everyday job, for everyday living, because without water we don't have anything. So that's was my motivation, and it's still going for over 15 years, 18 now.
Thank you for sharing that with us. That's very interesting to hear what motivates people to join the sector.
And also to stay in it.
And stay in it, very important, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from IT engineering, then you went a bit into the general water business of the water utility. Can you tell us a little bit how does water move in Prilep? So what's the water source, and then how does it ultimately get to the tap? Also to share with the public who doesn't know.
So in Prilep, it's very interesting, because from the source, from the water spring to the tap, actually the water travels for over 70 kilometers. So it's a very long way. And usually in all the utilities in our country, it's not just the spring, the water source is not right away in the city or in the area, but it's very far away. So usually the public doesn't have that perception because it thinks the water is free and it's a national treasure, so it's free for everybody. But it's not the case because the water is free from the spring, but to get to your tap is a very long way. After we get the water, after the water travels for 70 kilometers in my city, we treat that water. After that, there are a lot of technicians who is taking care of the water to be safe, to be tested. And after that, there are a lot of technicians who are taking care of the reservoirs, the water pipes, the water pressure, and there is a whole process that going on behind the scenes that till the water get to the tap. So many usually the public doesn't appreciate all that work that's being done in the background because for us that is the daily job, but for the people it's usually they just put on the tap and the water is there. They don't think how the water is getting to their tap. In the case of in Prilep, the water is traveling for 70 kilometers. First is tested, treated, then delivered, and all the technicians, they are repairing the pipes, they are maintaining the pressure. We have 24 hours technicians who works all day to so everyone has healthy, tested drinking water in their taps.
Mm-hmm. That really uncovers what we're trying to get at with this podcast and with the whole Just Add Water campaign, because there's so much energy and people's time and then also, of course, financial investments flowing into the delivery of safe water supply. And also, unfortunately, and then it's a topic that everyone talks about in the water sector, non-revenue water, is also a big issue here. I think the terminology non-revenue water, I've came across it only when I started my current job a few years ago. And usually when I tell people, oh, this is the biggest challenge of the sector, no one knows like what's that supposed to be. So maybe you can also shed some light into the water that is lost and what the issue behind non-revenue water is when it actually has to travel for 70 kilometers, like in Prilep.
Yes, and non-revenue water is one of the biggest challenge for the utilities in not just in Macedonia but also in the region. But we have to understand that it's not only a problem of the public utilities. It also involves the consumers and the whole society, because every drop of fresh water is precious. And I can proudly say now that the utilities in our country are very aware of that, because in the last few years we had like over maybe 20, 30 workshops and trainings about the non-revenue water through our association. And the utilities are very much aware of what is the meaning of the non-revenue water, how high it is in their utility, and what are their next steps. But we have one problem, and that's the finance. Especially after the economic crisis after 21, the utility needs a lot of finance to set aside to invest in the reducing of the non-revenue water. But unfortunately, with our tariffs, which are very low, we don't have that opportunity, and that's why all the utilities now in the country are, trying to turn their focus on the donations and grants and foreign investments. But it's That job takes a lot of time and a lot of work, and especially what we don't have takes a lot of time. And non-revenue water, aside from the technical parts, it's usually high percentage. We have illegal connections, careless uses of the water, delays in the reporting of the leaks, and tampering with the meters. And we kind of all contribute to the non-revenue water, but I'm very, like I mentioned, proud to say now the utilities in our country are very aware of the non-revenue water, and they the first focus and the investment they planned are focused on reducing the non-revenue water. So it's kind of I don't know, takes a lot of finance to reduce the non-revenue water.
And just now you mentioned that there is a big part of revenue water that involves also the citizens, so involve like a rest on their support. So what are some of the messages that it's important to get through to the users for you at Prilep Utility? And also, I think, you mentioned a bit that this is a daily work of care for water infrastructure. What does that, how does it look like on a normal day for you?
Well, for measuring the meters, we don't get any calls, but for leakages, they are happening, especially in the home networks, water networks. We get that calls a lot, and our utilities usually helps repair that kind of defects with only purpose so we can reduce the water leakage, because every drop of fresh water is precious, and we are very aware of that, and we know what it means to protect and deliver safe water, but at the same time people often forget that reducing the water losses, it's not just is just a job of the utilities, but it's also their responsibility. If they act responsible with water usages, especially during the summer when there is a very high percentage of using the water, the fresh water, because for example, this summer, if we are using like 200 liters per second, in my city, in the summer, we are using 400 liters per second. It's a very big, it's almost 100% more. So it's, if they, the public need to understand that we need to use the water responsibly, to not make any tampering with the meters. We do not have to do to make a legal connection, and if we see someone is using an illegal connection or is tampering the meters or is using the water unresponsibly, that they need to report that to the utility or the municipality.
So basically, in other words, if we want to take care of each other, if we want to take care of the future and sustainable water supply, we also need to take care of leaks. I guess with non-revenue water, it's not only about the revenue that the utility wants to generate for itself, but also to actually not lose that fresh water that is so precious, especially in our times.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask like one more question about non-revenue water, and maybe we then move to the next topic afterwards? I was wondering what kind of skills do you need to address non-revenue water in the utility? So is it mainly technical, or you also, what other...
Seems a bit like a detective work.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in all utilities in Macedonia, we have already put an action plan in place, or some of them has a business plan, and that we all know what are the next steps for reducing the non-revenue water. But like I mentioned, we lack of finance, because the tariffs are, especially in my city, are very low, and we cannot invest in reducing the non-revenue water from the tariff. That's why we are applying to get grants or donations, so we can reduce some of the non-revenue water. But basically, all the utilities have the same problem. They already have an action plan. They already had steps they need to put in place, and how to reduce the non-revenue water, but we all lack finance. If we have a higher tariffs, maybe we can put some of the finance into reducing the non-revenue water. But the public always is thinking that if we get a higher tariffs, that they kind of have wrong perception about that. They think it's actually are referring to increasing the salaries of the employees. But no matter what the tariff is, there is no changing on the salaries of the employees, because the salaries are connected to the law. So we cannot change that above how high the tariffs or how low is the tariffs. So it's kind of wrong conception about the tariffs, the structure of the tariffs, and that's why we kind of like to satisfy the citizen. That's why we have so low tariffs. But I think my point of view is that's very wrong, because if you don't invest on time in the system, in the water supply system, you are only adding more. In the future, you have to add more money, to put more money in, so you can do all repairs, and after a while, you actually have to replace everything, because the maintenance was low. So, and everything that is connected with the finance, and that's unfortunately our case.
Well, then let's talk about money.
Yeah. Maybe, one good question would be, since you mentioned tariffs, like, I guess the water in Prilep is quite cheap at the moment. What kind of increase would make sense to cover the kind of operations that you have, the kind of expenses that you have? Like, how much more would it have to cost?
How much percentage, or?
Yeah, if you have it off the top of your head, what do you...
Well, it's should be around 25%. It should increase the tariff, so we could do our maintenance and some of the investment that we already planned. Now there is a new regulated period. It's from 27 to 29. So the 26 is the last year of the regulated period. So in 27, we are going to get new tariffs for the water supplies.
Okay, so you still have to use the old tariff until the end of 26, and then you can hopefully get a new tariff.
Well, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
So if you could talk to any household, or let's say even, I wonder sometimes among friends and family, when they complain, oh, the water bill is so high, what do you tell them? What's your message to the households out there?
First, when someone is talk to me about the price of the water tariffs, I always kindly stickily say to them that the fresh water from the springs are free, but in the nature, the tap water is not spring water anymore. It's a product, and every product has a price. We cannot see at the tap water that is tested, that is distributed, and that is safe for drinking, the same as the water from the springs that we are usually find in the nature. This is the product because we are in my city, we are transporting for 70 kilometers. After that, we treat it, we test it, then we do pressure checks, we do transportation to the reservoirs, and there are a lot of people, skilled people, they are working in behind. So when we are turn on our tap water, so we can use that water. It's not just that simple. And when I explain whole the process, they are actually saying, "Oh, well, I don't think it's that whole process just for water. Just we have tap water." So usually, because we are kind of used to have water all the time in our tap, and we are not appreciated enough. So the tap water is not appreciated. So it's
what an important message to our listeners. I hope, thanks to you and your explanation on what it takes to bring water from the source to the tap, that our listeners and people out there really understand the meaning of every drop that matters. That the water that we lose in the pipes and on the way from the source to their tap is not only a very valuable resource that we lose, that is scarce, but that actually also that has implications, financial implications for the water utility and for their future, because obviously it is a product that we lose on the way.
A product and the service as well.
Yeah.
If that's okay, I would wrap it up here.
Absolutely,
right? Yeah. Thank you so much, Danche, for joining our episode. This has been Just Add Water. Until next time, to our listeners, remember to take care of every drop of water and to stay hydrated. And if you want to learn more about our campaign, you can visit our website and our social media pages.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your invitation. Thank you very much.